As we've been discussing the Supreme Court in this show, there are still a lot more cases in the remaining term. And one of those cases that is getting a lot of attention is whether or not the Supreme Court will rule against Trump and release his tax returns, which could potentially be given to the New York District Attorney and to Democrats-led House. To discuss all this, we bring in legal affairs reporter at the Washington Times, Alex Swoyer. Alex, welcome back.
Hey, Lindsay. Hey, Sean. Thanks for having me.
All right, well, based off of how the court has been ruling on the last few cases, what does this tell us about how they might rule on Trump's taxes and finances?
It's really hard to tell. Of course, Justice Roberts seems to be the middle of the court, and he's come down as the fifth vote one way or the other several times this term and in previous terms. So what I kind of am leaning on is what I gathered from the oral arguments when I attended those. And it did seem like the court was a little apprehensive about how allowing House Democrats to obtain the sitting president's personal financial records could lead to some sort of political harassment. Where there seemed to be a little bit more openness was the idea that no one is above the law. So I wouldn't be surprised if possibly we have a split ruling here where they're more open to allowing the Manhattan District Attorney, Cyrus Vance, obtain the records through that subpoena.
Alex,
it is a criminal probe, so I could see an interest there.
Yeah, you know, the interesting thing, I've been talking about this, but how important this election is in the court. You've got Clarence Thomas that's always rumored to be retiring. If he retires and Joe Biden wins, they tilt the court towards the liberal side. If Ruth Bader Ginsburg retired and Biden was in, it would be a wash. But if Trump was in there, we could actually have a real conservative court. So I think, you know, who retires and when is going to be crucial going forward.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's always speculation about if there's going to be a retirement at the end of the year. We usually see that announced in July, so that could happen later this month. However, I'm not sure that could, you know, with this being an election year. I think that if there were to be someone like Justice Thomas or Justice Alito, for example, decide that they wanted to retire, they would need to do so and make that announcement immediately. So that gives Leader McConnell and the Republican-led Senate right now enough time to process a new nominee as quickly as possible before November. Because, you know, looking at the polls right now, although they were wrong last time in 2016, you know, they might not want to take the risk about giving Joe Biden potentially the chance to fill one of those quote unquote conservative seats.
Alex, do you think there's any chance? I know I keep hearing these rumors that Alito might retire. Why would Sam Alito, who is a Democratic appointee, retire knowing that President Trump would have at least an opportunity to appoint a replacement?
You mean so? Samuel Alito, appointed by, I believe, George Bush.
I'm sorry, you're right. So, yeah, so he would want to do it, and the idea would be that he would want to retire. I'm sorry, because he'd want to give Trump the option to fill the seat. Is that's sort of the
right? Or Clarence Thomas, for example. But I'm not sure we're going to see that, especially given that it's already July 1st, and usually they already have wrapped up the year with opinions, and we still have several cases outstanding. We mentioned the Trump tax one. There's also a big case on faithless electors. We're waiting for those. So, I mean, I guess it's possible that they could make some sort of major announcement in the next, you know, week or two, but that still would be very tight to process a nominee. Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks, Alex. We'll have you back as soon as we've got some of those decisions down.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Alex. I want to show you guys a quick video. You may remember Scott Baio from Happy Days, Charles in Charge. Well, if you ever wonder why conservatives don't get hired in Hollywood, I'm going to show you why right now.
Sorry, but I have no interest in doing anything with Scott Trump Baio. Can you see it? Where is it? There it is.
All right, Scott's going to join us tomorrow to break this all down. It's amazing. We're also going to have former Republican Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich, founder of Real Clear Politics, Tom Bevan. He's going to discuss the latest poll numbers between Trump and Biden. And Tim Graham of the Media Research Center will be here to discuss the media's continued bias.
All right, it's going to be a great show. You won't want to miss it. That's our show. Greg Kelly Reports is up next.
Hey, thanks for being part of our company. We hope to see you back here tomorrow.